What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Suds Izzy, and I was playing Need for I've been playing Need for Speed Heat recently, and I was like, I mean, I could make some videos off it and shit like that. Um, so I know like when it comes to racing games, like the most important thing is like money, because like obviously, if you ain't got no money, you can't get no goddamn car, unless like you want to go to the very front of the car list and get you some old ass like buggy or like some C10 pickup truck that's only like 30,000 or maybe like 20, some around that line. But in terms of money, I would just be going over like races that I normally do and like I do them frequently and get quick, like easy money off them. And I know there's a bunch of races like, on the map, this and that. But obviously some give you more than others. Now there's also depending on like where you at in the game and like this and that. Cause like, I beat the game. And so, like, the more you play the game, this and that, and like progress, you get new races, and then you get races that, like, depending on, like, where you're at, you'll get higher races, like, to your car level, this and that. Like, you'll get, like, 300, 320, and, like, the farther you are in the game, you'll start getting, like, 400 plus. And I think, if I remember correctly, you start getting 400 plus races, like, pretty much at the end of the game, like, after the end of the game. But I mainly do these four. I just call them my four bags to be honest, because like you gotta go chase that bag, and then like there's four of them. So I always do Sonic, and now these are all sprint races, and sprint races like yeah they're long. I mean, if you're in a fast car, it's not really as long, but obviously like they're long. They're not circuit races. You're not going around laps doing this and that. Oh my god, no way! I got a text mid video, man. But anyway, I do the sprint race. Now this one's 320. Which one of these? Uh, yeah, none of these are 400 plus actually. Okay, so for sprint, you get 72. Daystorm, you get 66. Columbia, you get 59, which isn't bad. And Helios is 51. Now there are races that I do also do that give you like way more than some of those. Like I just mentioned, like this one, like it's a circuit race, and like you literally get 67,000 off of it. And like what I was saying about the whole like perf or car level, whatever you want to. No way, bro. Anywho, um, yeah. So some races are gonna be like you got 300 every now and then. You'll get like a 320 race, 240, this and that. But like I said, like you mainly really only get like to the higher races the more you progress through the story and like the farther you get this and that. And I will say that most of the races that you get like a lot of money on don't even require your car to be 400 plus. Like for this one, for some odd reason, like yeah, it's recommended that your cars are 400. Oh, 400 for this one, but you only get like 50,000 off of it. I mean, which isn't bad considering like this race isn't really long. You're really just going around in a circle and shit. But the thing about sprint races that like at least I look at them as is like performance of your car. So like while you're doing the sprint race, which is like a long race, this and that, blah blah blah. Like, you can also like take notes like how you like the tuning of your car, or like if you want to change something like this and that, blah blah blah. Like most of my cars are well, recently I actually like sold all my cars, and I was just like fuck it, I'm gonna start over like for the fuck of it, and get everything to 400 plus. And like there were some cars that like performance wise, I was like, I could tweak this a little bit, this and that. And then like, yeah, you can test them out just by like, leaving the garage and go drive down the road or some shit like that. But in terms of like a race, like you can really tell, like, the true performance of your car if you're doing a race and like a long race at that. And especially since most of these sprint races have like long ass straightaways. Like you'll get on like a highway, like something like this, for example. Like this is it? Yeah, I think it is J. Yeah, I think it is J Storm that ends this way. Yeah, but you get this long ass highway and like, you know, you can truly see like the top speed of your car, this and that. And I'm not talking about like, if you was to go look at it, oh, your car top speed is 234 or 235, like something like that, depending on how you build it. Like obviously, it can go past that, and circuit races are like, if you want to get a quick little bag, this and that, because like some of them are short, but some of them aren't, depending on where the race is at. Because some of these locations are pretty big, and to be honest, there are some circuit races that are just like, bro, this shit might as well be a sprint race. Because like it takes forever just to get back to the fucking finish line, just to do another lap, and then just to do another one and another one. So I prefer like sprint races better because like I don't I just get bored like constantly having to basically drive in a circle, go to the finish line, and then there's always one part in that circuit race where it's just long as shit, and it's like, bruh, why I might as well just go do a sprint race? Like there's no point. And that's another thing about Need for Speed, which makes getting money easier. It's like you can sell your cars, and that's something I wish the crew had, because let's say there's a car, like you're just in the garage one day and there's a car you don't drive and sell it. Depending on what the car is and how much you like work you got into it, this and that, you'll get decent or fairly amount, this and that. Like some cars, like yeah, you'll obviously get more if you sold it than others, this and that. Like money is still money. I mean, I like my bank, really ain't that big because I've been doing a lot of engine swapping and this and that. But like that's the most expensive like part of the game, to be honest. Like it's easy to buy cars. Like you just need a lot of money to like engine swap because depending on the car, most of these cars like to get that last engine, like, this and that. Majority of the time, it's gonna cost you around like 620, and that's why I say it depends on the car. Some of them are like cheap, some of them are like midish cheap, and then some of them are just expensive as fuck. And then it's like, bruh, and not even the last engine is like the only expensive one. The other ones are going to like run you about like 420, 430, this and that, blah blah blah. But anyway, and rally races too. Like, I don't personally do rally races or off road races, whatever you want to call them. They do give you a lot of money too. Like, bruh, I could literally just hop in the shit with one of my random street cars and dust these niggas like 290 for the recommended and the easy 64,000. Like, come on now. I just personally don't do them because I don't like buy the because like you can turn any car, and that's one thing I like about Need for Speed. You can turn any car into anything. Like you can literally go turn a Mustang to an off-road car or like a drift, like make it a drift build. This and that. You can do whatever with any of these cars. That's why I always like the Need for Speed games over the Crew and Forza. Is just like I like games where it's like actual like street racing and like underground type shit, and like actually mod your car and everything. We're not gonna talk about Unbound. I'm pretty sure we can all agree Unbound was dog shit. I don't know why they dropped this game off to go work on that shit. And the only DLC this game has is like you go buy that McLaren shit. I have it, but like I mean, aside from the McLaren, like you get some cool ass cosmetics. Like you get some like fire ass like underglows. You get tire smoke. Uh, I believe you get a new backfire too, a yellow one, I think. And like the challenges aren't even hard. Like it's literally just like simple stuff like smashing shit and this and that and doing races and everything. But yeah, that's just like, kind of a little go over like some races that you can do. Now, obviously, you won't, like I said, depending on where you're at in the story, you're not gonna have these races because like someone watching this video is gonna be like, bro, where the fuck are these races at? Because like I don't remember when, but I know like there's a certain point where you don't get like some of these races, this and that. And then I probably, and one thing about these races is that like, they'll go up in like recommended levels. Like there's some races that like some point in the game will be like, just for example, let's say this race is like two something, and then like you progress in the story and like it goes up and up, because like the races that you get in the morning unlock, like they'll go like the reward will go up, but so will the recommended level too. Because like the more you go, some of these races that you already have, and like this and that, instead of like it being like two something, 240, this and that, the shit going like skyrocket to three something, and then like you just kind of gotta build your car to like elite. Now it doesn't have to necessarily be the recommended level. Like your car can be like, all right, for example, this race is recommended 240. Your shit can be at like 238, and you'll still smoke like the cars. To be honest, depending on like how you built your car and everything. And there was times where when I originally played the game, I had cars that was like, I would save my money, upgrade them, and then like they was past like the recommended uh level, and I just like just dust them. And they can also change the difficulty of the game in itself too. So it's like you know because I think you have easy, medium, and hard. I think those are the difficulties. And obviously, like, if you haven't, I played on hard when I first got in the game, and I will say like, bruh, if you're playing on hard and like you're down heat 5 at night, man, that's something devious. But I will definitely make a video like to help with heat fives and like at night shit. So like, I was on TikTok the other day and I saw a comment with this guy saying, "The game sucks. It's so unfair. When you get on heat 5, it's literally impossible to escape the cops." In my head, I was like, "Bruh, like, like it's all about one skill is like a number one factor. Well, no, number two, the number one factor is like how you built your car, this and that. Because like, I mean, let's just be honest. Like, even if your car is 400 plus, or like high level, like the vets are still going to fucking smoke you. Like, they're always like they're literally designed to get in front of you and like try to cut you off or like hit you this and that. And they have NOS for some fucking odd reason. And same with the Chargers too. I mean, the Chargers like they aren't as fast, obviously, as the vets, but like they're still like kind of annoying-ish. But yeah, I'll definitely make a video like a little night guide, this and that, because like that's definitely the best, like the most funnest part of the game. And honestly, like even though um my level is 50, like I still hop in at night just to like go fuck around and get a heat 5 on purpose and like test out how good my car is and this and that. And then there are some time like there's this car I have in particular that I'll talk about in the other video that like be dusting like they'll dust them like that bad to where I'll like stop in the middle of the road just so they can catch up. And even like if I'm going like one something, this and that, like even the vets are like struggling to catch up. So like there's some times where I gotta forcefully like help them out just so they can catch up to me. And even when like, I kind of give them that sort of handicap, like I'm still dusting them in like some of these vehicles that I own. So I will say like it does definitely depend on like what you drive in. Well, not even what you're driving. You can dust a cop in any car. It just depends on your build and everything like that. And obviously like skill, because like obviously you're pushing like the pedal to the middle if you're running from the cops. So obviously like your weave game got to be on point. Like your turner, like your uh being able to turn corners and this and that. Because like the cars at night, because like that's the thing. When you're racing in the daytime, there's no cars, but at night there's hella cars, and then you have the one. I don't know who designed these AIs, but some of them will like dead ass stop in the middle of the road if they like see you. Because I think it was they designed them that way. And like if you're going, obviously if you're going like 240 or some shit, and you see a motherfucker like just casually, driving in the middle of the road and just stop, like your weekend got to be on point. Or like, let's say they hit you with some barricades on the road and some poppers on the ground, you got avoid that shit or hit a mean ass like sharp left or sharp right, this and that. And that's one thing. Some cars are like good for corners and some cars are not. Like, you'll obviously learn that. Like the more cars you drive, and like the more like you test out with them, this and that. But that's gonna be the end of the video. If you want to end, thank you. I'm making more and more videos on my YouTube. Even though I've been streaming mostly on Twitch, I'm trying to hit 50 subscribers on. Well, trying to hit 50 subscribers on both. Like even though technically I'm closer to hitting that on my YouTube, I do go on Twitch more though, because I just enjoy streaming this and that. But anywho, that's gonna be the end of the video. I hope you have a good one.